Hey, what's going on, Ramley? Welcome to the Rams Skinny here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. This is your daily dose of Rams news straight from Rams camp, joint practice up in Oxnard, California against the Dallas Cowboys. Our man Skinny T was on the ground, still on the ground. It looks like out there in beautiful, sleepy Oxnard, but we're going to get all into practice, talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, little Stafford update finally on kind of what he's actually dealing with. So we're going to get all of that here on the Rams Skinny. But first and foremost, Mr. Skinny T, what's up, man? How we doing? How's the beautiful confines of Oxnard treating you?
Oh, it's fantastic. You just hop on the 134 and it's a straight 60-mile trip over, real nice and easy. Watched some football yesterday, rubbed shoulders with Gary Klein and Jordan Rodriguez was out there. Ian Rappaport was out there too, talking to McVay a little bit.
Yeah, clearly he was getting the scoop out there.
Yeah, somebody leaked something.
I'm always curious. So we'll just start with that, and then we'll get into the whole thing. But so Stafford, Ian Rappaport, Schefter might have tweeted it too this morning. I don't know, but the one I saw was Rap Sheet that Stafford is officially dealing with an aggravated disc and has received an epidural to help him deal with it. Obviously, LA has called him week to week, being cautious, but the plans is he will be ready for week one. Yesterday was the same day that Adam Schefter did tweet out, or maybe he was actually on a podcast and said, there's really no reason for concern. Fans should not lose sleep over this. It's just a team being extra cautious. Be that as it may, now we know at least what he is dealing with. It's not just back soreness. It is, as we kind of alluded to a week ago, we were the ones kind of coming out and saying, hey, this is actually a spine thing. And now we know it is a disc. So just we won't spend a lot of time on it. We've talked about it a bunch, but any added thoughts to the whole Stafford saga, if you will?
As somebody who has had a bulging disc in their life, it comes back at weird times. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be an ongoing treatment plan. The pain doesn't necessarily just go away. I personally was given some great physical therapy tips, and he's getting even better ones. But he's getting an epidural, that's a big old painkiller.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're pregnant, when you're having a baby.
Yeah, exactly. So those reports of him, walking around, some light throwing, and all of that. I mean, maybe that's the extent of what he can do right now. But I'm just curious what exactly this treatment plan and this progress that they're making, what that really looks like. It's like we're talking about the improvement from Christian Roseboom to Troy Reeder the other day. Is it just like just an incremental improvement? Like Stetson Bennett is also improving, but isn't an NFL quarterback yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. And it's we've talked about it before, right? Like, dude's super tough. Like, I don't have any real doubt at this point that he won't start week one, but what kind of level of play? Like, is he going to be Super Bowl ready? Because this is obviously a Super Bowl contending team. And as you mentioned, this not only is this not something that just goes away, but aside from like the throwing motion and how much strain that puts on your back, I mean, one hit. I mean, he's going up just week one against Houston, right? Will Anderson, one of the best pass rushers in football. You take one hit. I mean, that thing, you're going to be feeling that probably. It's not just all of a sudden like, hey, I've been resting for 7 weeks and now I can take hits. Like, I'm sure it comes back pretty quickly with that one hit. So, not ideal. I'll just say that. Not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, we've got about a month before we will actually probably see Stafford. I doubt he plays. He's not going to play in any preseason games, obviously, and the Chargers was on the table. The joint practice for the Chargers was still on the table last time McVay was asked about it. I'm very skeptical if even that's going to happen.
Yeah, if he does practice, McVay's like having a sit down with Jared Verse. Like, you do not don't even breathe on Matthew Stafford. If you get around your tackle, like, just run to the end zone. Like,
just that take him off the field entirely. Yeah. Those two can't be on the field at the same time.
Yeah, you're like, Verse, we know you're good. All right, let's not. We don't want you taking that aggression out on our quarterback. So there's your Stafford update. Aggravated disc in the spine. Seems to be progressing well. I mean, everyone seems to be saying it's not a worry. I think everyone that knows what a bulging disc is like, this isn't nothing. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. So I'm always curious when you see, because I can't remember what movie it was. Maybe it was Draft Day. I think it was Draft Day actually with Schefter. But when you see, so McVay now for 2-3 weeks of training camp has told the media, yep, it's a back soreness thing, like progressing, but wouldn't actually say anything. And then you see like Rappaport with McVay. I'm just so curious if he's like, Sean, you got to give me something. Like, come on, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Like, how much are they like prodding, or does the team just say, you know what, let's just get this out there so we stop getting questions about it and they decide? But I'm always curious how that goes down.
Yeah, and sometimes people just let things fly, as it were. Just kind of let a word or two sneak out, and maybe aggravated disc was the words that he didn't mean to use, but he used.
Maybe that's a good call.
Yeah. And I will say this, the little bit of research that we did on this ailment, it can affect your limbs. It's not just back soreness. It can cause numbness and weakness in your arms or legs, depending on where the bulging disc is, which we still don't know where it is. He was asked about if it was related to that previous back injury that he took with the Rams in 2022 at the New Orleans game, I believe. And he said it was unrelated. But it's all the back.
It's all related, I think. Cause that was like a spinal contusion in like the upper almost neck area.
And if it's that, I mean, that could have an effect on, numbness and weakness in the arm, which is not great.
The old mystery elbow we dealt with, the elbow weakness we dealt with. I mean, this is something that, like, if you go cross sports, Kike Hernandez, they haven't said what he's actually dealing with the Dodgers, but had like elbow, I think in early July, they described it as like elbow numbness. So he went on the IL, and now he's at risk of missing the entire rest of the season. And so, these little mystery numbness things, they don't just go away.
Well, it sounds like something similar to what Asante Samuel was dealing with as well. Asante Samuel Jr., he's still a free agent, wasn't re-signed by the Chargers. He had some sort of weird shoulder numbness as well.
So. Yeah. So we don't want to speculate that far, but we'll keep everyone posted at what we hear on this, because obviously very important. As anyone can sugarcoat that Jimmy G's been looking good in camp, which I think he has overall, but I don't know if this team goes from a Super Bowl winning team going from Stafford to Jimmy G. So that being said, though, Skinny, you were there, you saw Jimmy against the Dallas defense. I think there was some good stuff to come out of it. Where do you want to start? Do you want to talk offense, talk defense, specific player? This is your show, just to give us the whole, because I wasn't there, so I'm ready to hear it too.
Well, the big news that was overshadowing everything is the Kyren Williams deal.
There you go. That's a good way to start. Yeah,
3 years, $33 million. You pretty much nailed that right on the head. I think we were kind of in the ballpark of between, around $10 million. That was kind of the top mark. And from his comments, the thing that really stood out to me was he was shocked that they met his ask. So he wasn't, I'm sure they talked him down some, but he wasn't asking for the moon and the sun. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to be compensated as the 7th best running back in the league, which he probably is.
Yeah. I mean, love that. Hopefully it works out great. But yeah, it's great to see. So yeah, $33 million over 3 years, $23 million guaranteed. As you mentioned, the 7th highest paid running back now, which, I think is, we talked about it, right? Like in that kind of 9 to 11 million range. Originally his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, was talking about wanting 14, 15. So I wonder if Kyren talked him down, like, we're not getting that. Like, let's not even ask that. Or if that was the original ask, and then they kind of just went down from there. And then Kyren said, hey, how did 11? And they're like, okay, we can do that. Are you satisfied with that, like 3-year deal, like getting him back? I know we both, I feel like 6 months ago, we're like, yeah, this is a guy you got to resign. Like, he's so involved in the offense. And then like over that 6 months, we're like, well, they keep drafting running backs. They just don't resign guys. I don't really see it in their future. But you're just overall, like, are you pleased with the move?
Yeah, it's interesting because his usage is going to go down this next year. It's not sustainable what he did last year. So he's going to get paid a lot of more money to not do quite as much. Yeah. But, it's funny because 3 years is a really long running back contract, it seems like, at this point.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah. So, they love the guy. They're taking care of him. Mostly healthy. So that's good. And like I'm saying, that usage is going to come down, which will help him stay on the field for those 3 years. So yeah, all good there.
Yeah.
But the running backs room is looking more and more complete. Blake Corum is looking more explosive than Kyren. Really, really squeaky, getting through those tight gaps. And Jarquez Hunter, I can't say enough good things about this guy. I don't know if he'll play a lot when the rubber meets the road in the regular season, but I love the way the guy plays. He just loves that contact, and he doesn't shy away from it. So many good things to say about that guy.
Well, and the way they kind of plan this contract out, we'll see if they continue their 8-year trend of drafting a running back every single year. But the way to work out is when Kyren's this next contract is up, because obviously he has this year plus 3, so 4 years left. Right before that, obviously Blake Corum will be, so the year in Kyren's last year will be Blake Corum. They'll have to decide if they want to re-sign him. And then when Kyren's officially done, that'll be when Jarquez Hunter is off his rookie deal. So kind of the timing works out as if they're then passing the baton or giving him a third contract or however they kind of fit that it could work out for kind of all three potentially, if they really like this group, which I think they do. Now we'll see if they actually play it out with these three-headed monster that we haven't really seen in the McVay era, even though there's always been this hope of like a big monster running back room skinny with the McVay era, and it's just never materialized. So this is the first year that we have the true potential, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, last year, we've talked it to death already with Blake Corum and what he can and can't do on the field. But it's a new year, so it's going to be fascinating to see how they deploy that. And I've been watching that all camp, just really curious about how it's all going to work together. And it's tough with the running backs because it's hard to get a good sense of pass protection. It's hard to get a good sense of just how big of runs they're making with the thud tackling or the no tackling at all. Mm-hmm. So I think I continually come back to this idea that this team is hinging on the offensive line. That so much is dependent on the success at those positions. Alaric Jackson not in pads for the hitting portion of the joint practice. They traded off Warren McClendon and DJ Humphries at the left tackle position. Kevin Dotson came off the field at one point, dealing with some sort of upper body injury, like they call it in hockey. Mm-hmm. There you go. Working with Reggie Scott, and Justin Dietich worked for the rest of practice there. So there was no update from McVay on Dotson. He was asked about Kyren and everything else, but I'm not sure if everybody saw it, but that did happen. So I'll keep an eye on it and see if I can get any questions in on that. So the depth is a bit better this year at the position on the offensive line, but it kind of has to be just because of Havenstein and Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great to see our guy Dietich. I mean, he's the backup center right now and sliding in as the backup guard. So showing that versatility he displayed at USC. So I don't know if I think it's a good thing because I like the guy, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing in terms of what the production will look like. So I presume the practice was thud. I'm assuming it wasn't full tackle. So how did the offensive line overall kind of hold up against obviously no Micah Parsons? We all know that saga going down in Dallas. Like, thank God we don't deal with that. The Rams, I mean, since we've covered the Rams, I don't think they've ever had like some extravagant holdout or anything, which has been nice. But yeah, how did the offensive line overall hold up against kind of this defensive line? And then the second point of that, then how did Jimmy Garoppolo then in turn look because of that hopeful protection?
Yeah. Coleman Shelton was actually a really big standout for me. He made this incredible athletic play, opening up a hole for Kairen Williams, like outside the hashes. So he was way downfield, setting up those blocks for him, which was just incredible to see. He's getting a lot of praise. Kevin Dotson said he's the smartest center he's ever worked with, which is pretty great. And then, Jimmy G had his best day of practice that I've seen. I didn't see him throw any interceptions. He was on time. He got the ball out. He was driving the ball down the field. He and Davante Adams have a really good rapport. And I mean, Puka Nacua is still really good at football. So there's still that. So yeah, it's, it was nice to see him have like a really clean performance out there against, good competition.
No, that's great. I saw a pass pro rep from Kyren Williams. I can't remember who the Dallas Cowboy player was, but it looked like probably a corner or safety. He wasn't like linebacker size or edge rusher size. But Kyren Williams just absolutely obliterated this guy, kind of coming through the line after Jimmy G, and just absolutely stood him up and put him in the ground.
Nice.
And we've said a lot. That's, as a running back, what you have to do to be able to be on the field in this McVay offense. You have to be good in pass pro. You have to protect your quarterback. You have to be able to be out in routes, which is why I think Kyren Williams gets this 3-year extension. So the other two backs, you kind of mentioned a little bit, but how did Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter look in the team activities? And was it from I know you were mentioning beforehand that the fields were split, so you were kind of split time anyway, trying to see the offense and the defense. But from what you could tell, did it look like Corum and Hunter were kind of splitting reps? Was one maybe above the other, or could you not really tell that?
Corum actually took the majority of the first team reps over Kyren Williams. So it was basically 23 and 22 with the first team. And then Jarquez was the lead back for the second team with Stetson Bennett.
Gotcha.
He didn't make the crossover this time around, but he had in previous training camp days. So, you gotta work your way up, and they wanted to see what Blake Corum could do. There's I can't keep saying it enough. The backfield's going to be different. It's not going to be the Kyren show, and that's why we want it.
Yeah, absolutely. Need to have that rotation, which is why they drafted these guys. So, all right, let's. Okay, last thing on offense, tight ends. I can't remember if I saw that you tweeted, or I can't remember if any tight ends were out. Were all tight ends in attendance? And then I guess I'll just ask you, how did they look?
Yeah, Ferguson was out.
Okay, so that's what I thought I saw.
Yeah. And Tyler Higbee looks like he's fully healthy. He's really flying around out there. It's he and Colby Parkinson are leading the way. They're definitely, if there's going to be 12 personnel, it's going to be those two. And Tyler Higbee's still the main dog. Unfortunately, can't see Turd Ferguson out there.
I know.
In live reps. So, we've mentioned it before. It's a tough position to transition to from the college to the pro game. Missing time, that definitely doesn't help them, especially something like this where so much valuable learning can come.
Yeah. Now it would be silly to be overly concerned and throw labels out there for a rookie's first training camp. And we're only 2-3 weeks in. However, this is a podcast. We're just here to talk and give the people some drama. Are you concerned about Terrence Ferguson? Because I remember when the few days I was there, definitely more limited reps, definitely with the threes. Like really, I mean, they threw him in a few times the ones as a try to like kind of get him in there. McVay's even said that, or I can't remember if he said or it was hearsay, but basically he hasn't caught up to the game quite yet. Like he's not progressing as quickly as maybe some of the other rookies. I can't remember who said that or what, but just, learning the playbook. I mean, tight end, as you just alluded to, is one of the hardest positions to transition because not only you're learning all the pass plays, you're an extension of the running game and the blocking game. There's a lot you have to do. So it's not surprising that a rookie tight end maybe progresses a little slower, but considering how hyped and how glowing the Rams were, and even saying we would have taken this guy in the first round, and yet here he is, as of now, from my summation, behind even Davis Allen as tight end 4 right now. Plus, he's dealing with obviously some injury stuff, which is not out there. So, all that being said, it's early. No one should have real concern. But are you slightly concerned that this guy's not quite where we all think he should be?
I am slightly concerned. The great news for him is there's depth, so he's got the time.
Yeah.
So, but would I want to see an explosive young tight end play in his first year and really flash and show out? Yeah, definitely. Is it a draft bust? Can you call it that already? Yeah, definitely not. But if it takes him a full year to kind of get up to speed, which is kind of my prediction at this point, I think he's kind of like a Blake Corum for the tight end room, which is fine. They still have Higbee, who, should be healthy. He could miss some time. But I mean, the offense just looks so much more explosive with Higbee in there.
Yeah.
That when you see that, you see what they see for a guy like Ferguson. So we get to miss out on that, I guess. That's the biggest thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said it. I mean, I think that's the best thing is he has time. Like he wasn't one of those guys drafted to start right away. Like I remember when the Broncos drafted a guy by the name of Noah Fant back in 2019 or something. They drafted him like 20th overall out of Iowa. And similar like the Detroit Lions when they drafted TJ Hawkinson out of Iowa that same year. Like those were guys drafted to like, all right, this is our stalwart tight end from day one. And Noah Fant specifically, like he was that same thing, like just didn't quite, he was still good in like the passing game, but could not quite make that transition into the run game for the NFL body type. And I wouldn't call him like a bad NFL player, but he's now on his third team. You know, he hasn't been that first round tight end that everyone expected. In no way am I saying that's going to happen to Terrence Ferguson 3 weeks in the training camp, but those are the little things you can see, like when the game isn't quite transitioning from college to pro, that you kind of want to keep your eye on. So I think he still has all those intangibles, has that size. I think the team is obviously still very excited about him. But yeah, right now, clearly it is Tyler Higbee and Colby Parkinson's tight end room with David Allen probably at the 3 and Ferguson there at the 4. But as you said, and as I've said, like, luckily time is in his favor because he's not forced to be in that, not forced to rush. Like, take the whole year if you need to. Be the guy next year is, I think, more important.
Yeah, 100%. And can you make the argument that maybe they should have used that second round pick on, I don't know, like a cornerback? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know,
maybe that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, like, not that anything wrong with Terrence Ferguson. Take your time, but like when you see who is available there. Anyway, so let's go to defense. That's a good transition there. Let's start with the D line. I don't know how much, again, for everyone that doesn't know, the Cowboys fields are split. So when the offense is going to the defense and the Rams defense going to the offense, they're on opposite, completely different spheres. So you can only see one at a time. So I'll just prelude that because I don't want to put you on the spot if you didn't see everything. But from what you saw, I mean, all indications, we've known this for a long time. All indications, this defensive line is going to be one of the best in football. It was last year, even with its youth. It might again this year. How did they look against a Dallas Cowboys, usually pretty stalwart offensive line?
Yeah, they were missing their left tackle, and Jared Verse had a day against the backup, which is, you know, that happened. And I think he probably would have done the same to Tyler Guyton as well. Yeah, the defensive line was probably the star of the show, period, hands down. They shut down the running attack pretty much 100%, except I'll say there were a few explosive gains that got outside the edges. And when that happens, that's when things get a little bit shaky. So Puka Ford in the middle there is really doing his job, doing what they wanted him to do. They keep talking about his pass rush ability. And I'm just like, let this guy be 5'11", 320 pounds or whatever he is.
Yeah. Just be a glacier. Just be a glacier right there in the middle. Just clog it.
Yeah, it's fine. But you know, Cowboys offensive line was battered a little bit, and then this is not a good running back room, so it might not be the best competition to take a look at, but plenty of pressures from both Fiske and Verse, just you know, really dominant performance across the board. All those guys did a great job.
Did you see? I think we put it out as well on our LAFB Network channel, but there's a comment from Aaron Donald, something about like, oh man, I need to come back out if Micah will join me. And Parsons like, yeah, like, he like tagged his agent. Obviously, it's not going to happen. But can you imagine if the Rams somehow went after Micah Parsons?
No, I can't. I mean, I've wanted to like spin up an article about it. And I'm just like, it's not gonna. There's no way. I mean, I don't think he's going to get traded. I think this is just Jerry being Jerry.
Yeah, totally.
But that would be historic. I mean, it's potentially 3 Hall of Famers on a defensive line.
Let's just, we'll do this really quick because it's very, very unlikely, but let's just throw out that Aaron Donald actually comes back. I don't think I think he's more joking and getting the fans riled up. He knows what he's doing, but I think he's loving life right now. And so regardless of him, I mean, that still would be a historic defense line. Likely the Rams would have to include Byron Young in that trade. They're not going to just not trade anyone. So probably Byron Young and potentially both first round picks. I don't know if it would be that steep. Let's just go with one. So they get 1 first round pick, Byron Young, and maybe like a third for Micah Parsons. So you got Micah Parsons, Fiske, Poona Ford, Jared Verse. You lose that first for a quarterback next year, but you see that, to you, is that worth it? Or is Byron Young good enough where it's like you don't want to give up that much capital?
I mean, if it was Donald and Verse and Parsons,
Well, Donald, yeah.
I would give it up. I would,
Yeah.
I would, if it was, I mean, I would trade Young in a first to have Micah Parsons, who's still young, and Jared Verse. I mean, you've got 5 years of just wreaking havoc. I mean, is that worth a quarterback? Pump that into some weird advanced analytics trade chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would.
So Micah Parsons is 26. Byron Young is actually 27. He's actually older.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be, I love Byron Young. Like, that's no shade to him, but obviously, Micah Parsons is in a different stratosphere. If Matthew Stafford were to, let's say, retire after this year, obviously you wouldn't have that inflated quarterback contract. So theoretically, I don't have like their cap space in front of me, but theoretically you could probably afford it to give him that huge deal he wants, just because you're going to basically, starting next year, probably have a rookie quarterback, or at least a really cheap one. And when you have a unbelievable defense, it gives a rookie quarterback a chance to kind of, make some mistakes and whatnot and groom. So I don't know. Could be fun fodder. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think every NFC West has made that phone call. NFC West team has made that phone call. I mean, the Niners could use more pass rush. I mean, everybody could use more pass rush. Everybody could use a Micah Parsons on their team, I guess. But I'm also thinking about Christian Wilkins too. What's stopping the 49ers from getting Christian Wilkins in their room?
Yeah, that whole story is so weird. He's just sitting out there now. So, all right, let's go. So linebackers, obviously Nate Landman has been the talk of the town with the Rams. Against other competition, how did him and Spates look from your vantage point?
He wasn't out. He wasn't out there.
There you go.
Yeah, no, he was injured. Yeah, he was dealing with a calf injury, which is something he also had last season as well. Calf and a quad. He tore his quad, and then subsequently he played hurt and then hurt his calf. So he wasn't out there. Like I was saying, with when those edges break down and those running backs get outside there, that's when you really see the weakness of this linebacker room. And it was Troy Reeder and Omar Spates. He's not the sideline to sideline guy. He's the, run gap filler. That kind of stout linebacker. So, that it was unfortunate to not get to see Landman out there because there's just so much hype. And, I keep telling myself, don't get caught up in any wide receiver hype this training camp, because every year I inevitably this is the guy, and Jordan Whittington's coming along. But anyway, I'm not getting caught up in the Landman hype. I'm only gonna believe it when I see it. He lost his job in Atlanta. They didn't re-sign him, and he was a free agent for a reason. And he's from Zimbabwe. Not a ton of playing experience. I mean, you can poke holes in his game, but we haven't really seen it yet. So I'll hold my my true feelings until week 1, I guess.
Yeah, it's such an interesting room because the staff has been praising him, and his teammates have been praising him, rightfully so. I mean, you could see it out there. He does bring an intensity and a cerebral to the game at the linebacker position we haven't seen. But that is concerning when the drop off from Nate Landman to Troy Reeder is significant, and maybe that ceiling isn't even that high with him. So, I mean, it's still a room that is probably a pretty weak room. And hey, I'd love to be surprised. I would absolutely love to see week 1 and all right, we've got a dynamic duo there in the linebacking pair. But I agree with you. Trying to watch thud or even non-contact linebackers in practice, you're nearly not going to see a whole lot. And the most we've probably actually seen is one-on-one drills against the running backs, just pass pro reps where we've seen them go up against the running backs. So not great. Not great. So Secondary.
Yeah,
Everyone healthy in the secondary? How'd they look?
Emmanuel Forbes and Cam Curl were sidelined with injuries.
Yep. We knew that.
Yeah, not sure the severity on either one of those.
I think both were week to week last time McVay spoke about him.
Yeah. Curl had his ankle stepped on, and I'm sure it was a calf for Forbes because that's what he was dealing with earlier, but hard to say. Anyway, Jalen McCullough got more starts, or more snaps, that is to say. And then who else was in there for? Oh, Kobe Durant. He was also in there, taking up those extra snaps. And, Quentin Lake, fourth interception, just ripped it right out of George Pickens' hands. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people, like a lot of Cowboys Twitter was calling that a touchdown. I was like, no. That was a clear interception.
Everybody on the Rams side said it was an interception. So
yeah, it's a great play.
Yeah, definitely. Looks solid, looks stout. I mean, CeeDee Lamb torched Akella Witherspoon pretty repeatedly, and that's going to happen. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is, in the top 10 receivers in the league. So, but all in all, really, really solid performance from a secondary.
That's great. I think because that's another unit aside from linebacker that's a lot of unknown, especially with two starters out. Clearly, the anchor of that unit is Quentin Lake. I mean, it's so fun to see his development since coming to the NFL, being, what was he, a 6th round pick? And now they're basically starting roving nickel star, safety, corner. He plays everywhere. Leader of the defense, wore the green dot last year. So it's been so fun seeing like how well he's developed and how good he is. And then he may finally, Skinny, be like the secondary player they actually give an extension to, because I know McVay loves him.
That's the big question. And, there's no talk of it right now.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a little bit different than Kairen Williams, since he's such a focal point of the offense and a bit of a higher draft pick as well. But yeah, I'm very skeptical on that one because they just haven't paid a safety, ever. And, but he's more than a safety, like you're saying, so can they just replace that where they, from John Johnson to Jordan Fuller and so on, there's a reason they brought in Cam Curl, drafted Cam Kinchins as safeties because they could move Quentin Lake around more and utilize them more. What's that worth to them? Can they just replace it? It's that'd be a more difficult task than finding another, Jordan Fuller or John Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. Just because he does, I think, so much. But I think that is one of those kind of underrated storylines because he's the same draft class as Kyren Williams. So he's in the final year of his contract this year.
Yeah.
So it is, even I forget sometimes. I think he's going into year 3, but no, this is his 4th and final year of his contract. And I mean, he's the face. He, outside of like the pass rush guys, he's kind of the face of the defense for sure in the secondary. And yeah, we've heard crickets on a potential extension. So he's one I'd like to see back, but I agree with you. The Rams just have not re-signed safety, just secondary guys. It's DBs.
It's Ernest Jones, the linebacker, they traded him right before the season. They didn't want to extend him. Don't
do that. Don't say they're going to trade Quentin Lake. Don't do that to me.
I'm not saying that, but there's a couple of position groups that they don't value.
Yes.
And they move on from them sometimes unexpectedly.
Yes, that's fair. So, all right, let's wrap up with this. Just your overall, you don't have to go in too much detail since we just detailed pretty much every position group, but just your overall summation of joint practice. Just overall, you felt good leaving there. The Rams, maybe, again, they're not like keeping score or anything, but overall, maybe they were the better football team. Just what was your overall thoughts?
Yeah, I think I came away thinking more about the Cowboys than I did about the Rams. I think the Rams looked as expected. Their offense looked explosive and moving the ball. Running back room is improved. Defense is still getting to the passer. Defensive line is getting better. Everything behind them, this didn't change anything for me. It just reinforced kind of what we've already seen and talked about about this team. But for the Cowboys, I think they're in some trouble this year, especially if Micah Parsons I was thinking about the Emmitt Smith contract back in the 90s when he didn't want to pay Emmitt Smith, and then the season started and they went 1-3 or something like that, and then all of a sudden, Emmitt Smith got paid.
Yeah.
So I think this Cowboys team is going to have a really hard time, especially in a very competitive NFC East. Just another wasted year, it seems like. Schottenheimer seems like a great guy, though.
Nice guy, interesting hire. Yeah, what a dumpster fire that team is. I've never seen an owner / GM talk to the media every single day.
He just loves it.
Hey, Jerry Jones is up front and center talking every single day. It is insane.
He's got a radio show.
I know. It's just wild. And the stuff he says are like, what are you? But no other, like, Les Snead does. I mean, he's the GM, and Les Snead does what, like 3 interviews a season, and it's usually with like local fun stuff or like Rich Eisen. And then Stan Kroenke, I've never seen do a single interview as the owner. Like, he's never once been in front of the media. So it's just like
he could sound like Kermit the Frog, and I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, he's the Monopoly man. I don't even know what he sounds like. Does he sound like JD Rockefeller or what? But Jerry Jones every day is talking. It's just like we'll end it here, but it's like sometimes it would look better if he just wouldn't speak to the media. Like, just don't say anything. Just like leave it as is. Cool. If your players want to complain about you, like at least you have your side of the story that you're not putting out there. But he just every day is just saying stuff. You're like, yep, you're the problem. Clearly, just look at what you're saying.
It's a wild appetite he's got for that kind of attention. He really believes that no press is bad press.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he doesn't care that much. They're still making a ton of it. They're still like the most valuable sports franchise in all of sports. So I guess.
And that place was packed with Cowboys fans, not too far away from Woodland Hills, center of Rams universe. So
yeah. Okay. Finally, was there, I know this was a Cowboys, their training camp facility, but was there more Cowboys fans than Rams fans, or did a lot of Rams fans make it out there?
70-30, I think I would count it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they, I don't even know if you saw this. Was it because I didn't even look. Was it a free event? You just had to get tickets like ahead of time before they sold out, or did they charge?
I don't know. Yeah.
I would assume free, but like the Raiders, I didn't know this. The Raiders last week did a scrimmage. I think they did it at Allegiant, but they actually charged for tickets to go to it. Now all the proceeds went to like a foundation or something. So at least it was, something good. And it was like tickets for like $10, but usually any preseason stuff, or not preseason games, but any like training camp stuff is always free. So I assume it's free, but everyone just had to like get tickets till they sold out. You just sign up for them. But yeah.
I finally got a sense of what the layout of the land is there, because you see the videos and there's like the condos in the background.
Yeah, it's like in a park. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it's like on a golf course, and those condos are kind of like adjacent to the golf course, and then all the media stuff was set up on like basketball courts and tennis courts that are for those condos, and then that big field is playing fields for kids or something.
Oh wow! I wonder how much they have to pay that condominium complex, because all those people just like miss out on all their amenities for like 3 months. Not 3 months, like 1 month.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny little setup though.
Yeah, interesting for sure. So great. Well, great stuff. Skinny, as always, on the ground. We'll have plenty more, obviously, Rams coverage. Keep it right here. Apparently, we're one of the only ones putting out video coverage. So, keep it right here on the Rams LAFB YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we can keep putting out video content, actual highlighting some stuff from Rams training camp. But good stuff. Rams looking good. We'll keep you guys posted on the Stafford stuff. Let us know what you guys think. Are you growing more concerned? Are you less concerned? Drop a comment below. But yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already. All of our Rams content is over at LAFBnetwork.com, or an audio platform. Just search Rams Skinny wherever you get your podcasts. That's Skinny T. I'm Ryan Dowd. Everyone be well, be safe. Talk to you all again soon with plenty more Rams talk.